Ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome video today from start to finish, recording a song, including a live performance from myself. I hope you enjoy the video. If you need help with anything in Audacity that I haven't covered in my videos, I will leave my email address in the description below. We can set aside a 30-minute block of time for professional help. Feel free to let me know what you would like help with so I can make sure that we come in prepared, ready to knock that out for you. Feel free to reach out and we'll get it done for you. Without further ado, let's get into the video. You are going to find serious value in this. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure serving you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Audacity tutorial. I'm Josh Meyer of JoshMeyerVO.com. I'm a professional voice talent, expert in Audacity, and I got into that through writing music. So today, it is my honor to bring to you how to record vocals for music in Audacity. There is a ton of value in this video, so I encourage you to stay tuned. Today's video is sponsored by Studio One Printing and Embroidering. Their brand is Gorilla Fist. You'll see me wearing this sweater. They actually they sponsored me through music. Really great guys. They created my music logo, my voiceover logo, and they hit me off with some awesome merch. So shout out to Jeff and Forrest Mulkin. Studio One Printing, custom logos, custom hoodies, custom shirts, you name it, they got it. Okay, so moving forward, today we are going to go over importing the music track. We're going to check the music MP3 for clipping, and we will address that if necessary. We're going to check your mic levels to make sure you're not coming in too hot. And there's nothing worse than doing a killer take and having it sound like trash because you've overwhelmed the interface or whatever. I'm going to drop some fire. You might not be ready for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my process of start to finish recording a song. We are going to go over the time lag, duplicating the tracks, processing the vocals. I'm going to show you some cool tricks like how to add samples, customize this to your taste and flavor. We'll export the track, re-import it, we'll check for more clipping, and we're going to wrap it up. So without further ado, let's get into it. And just briefly, my initial thought was to create a master guide to Audacity, how to record voiceover in Audacity, how to record music in Audacity, how to create your own equalizers, all of these different things. And I decided instead of creating a product and withholding information from people who could really use it, but don't necessarily have the means to pay a couple $100 for valuable information like that, I decided let me go ahead and release this tutorial. I'll drop a donation link and see how that goes. Let me know your thoughts on that. So let's get into this. This is going to be tight. So today, we are going to click, drag, and drop the music MP3 into Audacity. Just drop it right over the Audacity icon. Audacity will load that right up for you. Alternatively, you could go to File, Import, and if you had Audacity open already, you could just drop it right in. The first method is clearly the most simple, quick, easy route. So at this level, we want to look at the actual music waves. So I'm going to zoom in so we can have a close look. There's a lot of really talented producers out there creating awesome music, but aren't experienced at the level of checking their music levels. So sometimes you're going to have sound waves that are just blown up, and you're going to have a lot of peaks touching the ceiling, literally. And what happens at that level is called digital distortion. That is clipping. It does not sound great. This beat actually looks fantastic. There is just a couple clips in here that I want to address. So what I'm going to do is I'll double click this track. I'll go to Effect, and I will scroll down to Limiter. And we're going to make sure that's set to a hard limit. And I'm going to limit that by -1 dB, -1 decibel. And you'll see it trim the clips right off the top. And what that does, it compresses all of the clips. And that will enable us to have headroom without clipping when we add our vocals to that. So at this level, I would like for you to Control-Shift-N to create a new track. And you could either mute the music track or leave it on. And I just want you to do a sample recording to check your mic levels. Make sure that you're coming in nice and clear, a good amount of volume, but you're not overwhelming the interface and clipping right when you come in and creating that distortion. So if that's an issue for you, just simply adjust your mic knob down on your interface or your mic knob, depending on your setup, and make sure that you're coming in clear. Because once again, you don't want to do the best take you've ever done and then go back in and the audio sounds like trash. So at this point, we're almost ready to record. Now, this intro is a little bit long, so I want to cut a little bit of time out of the intro. So I just don't want to make you sit through that. So I am going to highlight this area, Control X to cut that, and let's make a smooth transition into the beat. So you see that I'll highlight this small area right here. I'll go to Effect, and I will go to Fade In. And without further ado, let's get started. Oh, before we do this, what I'm going to do is you'll listen to the music in your headphones, and sometimes it cranks and just comes in super loud. So what I'm going to do for this beat, I've already heard this beat, is I'm going to drag this gain slider down to -8 dB. That's still going to come in nice and loud, and what that will do is it will bring these sound waves down and create more headroom to ensure that we're not clipping over and over again when we add the vocals. Add some juice to that. So at this point in time, let's get started. Do y'all want to see me drop a one take of some bars? You might not be ready for this, but we'll find out. Quick water. All right, let's go. All right. Go in the heart, it's like a nuclear war. Homie, my flow is firebomb, I cook you down to the core. People love me like Robin Williams, influential like Tony Robbins, more flavor than Baskin Robbins, or best of Batman and Robin. Who got meat? Pork, poultry, or beef? I'm thin slicing these suckers like boar's head on a beat. Make these lunch meat MCs quick, cold turkey, fake tough, toe, furky wussies. Don't really want it with me. Your tactic is in plastic, so I grab it. Wrap it around your face, suffocate you and have at it. Fucking with me, you must have lost your marbles, blown a gasket. I don't know when to stop. I'm a cactus inside your casket. Sad and frowning, I know that your mind is crowded with thoughts you can't comprehend, and inside it feels like you're drowning. Take a dip in this water, I'll pull you down even farther. Show you the darkness, have you believe in the Holy Father. The Holy Ghost Rider, have you kneeling beside the altar. I wrote your best bars, it's your honor to meet the author. Sean Penn on a bender, choking Madonna, making them disappear, poof magic like Harry Potter. Keep playing like Law and Order, quit playing like y'all can stop me. I'm Jordan up in the fourth quarter. I know you seeing that crazy shit in my eye. Window into a haunted house with no soul up inside. I'm so out of my mind, you think I'm from Saturn. Charismatic and charming with a killer's thought pattern. I'm staying steps ahead of the rest like a chess master. Forensic psychologist, fluent in reading blood spatter. Blow out the light so you can't name your attacker. Headshot to a toe tag, body and all these rappers trying hard. From the fact that I'm better, it doesn't matter. I live inside your head, so go to bed with a dream catcher. Like your daddy in a model car. Keeping it clean is the hardest part. Don't turn my screws and hope I fall apart. Cause when I'm mad, I get bad like the morning star. Man, I come from the pain. I come from watching addicts pouring their whole life down the drain. That's why neglect, violence, abuse is locked in my brain. Have you ever seen the devil serve the spoon with a flame? Claiming you cool, that's some bullshit. I put you in the spotlight, watch you choke like a bong hit. I am finesse under stress, stay calm under duress. Now watch me become my best. The way I turn my life around, you think I'm crazy. 130 pounds, 310 to $180. I'm saying quit playing to all you jealous clowns that hate me. Just sit back and watch me keep winning like Tom Brady, Mr. Jones. I told you might not be ready for that. All right, so we've got this take right here. Let's move on. What do we do from here? So in Audacity, there is a very slight time lag. You will find that your vocals will come in just barely slow. It's just barely behind. So for instance, let's go ahead and play this and have a listen. You'll find that it's close, but it's just barely off. So what I'm going to do is I'll zoom in so we can have a good look here. And we're going to have a quick listen, and we'll highlight this time slider tool to adjust that. Going the hardest like a nuclear war. Homie, my flow is firebomb. I cook you down to the core. People love me. All right, so let's just drag that slightly to the left. Slightly to the left. Let's see how that sounds. Going the hardest like a nuclear war. Homie, my flow is firebomb. I cook you down to the core. People love me like Robin Williams, influential like Tony Robbins, more flavor than Baskin Robbins, or best of Batman and Robin. Who got meat? Pork, poultry, or beef? I'm thin slicing these suckers like boar's head on a beat. Make these lunch meat MCs quick, cold turkey, fake tough, toe furky wussies. Don't really want it with me. Your tactic is in plastic, so I grab it. Wrap it around your face, suffocate you and have at it. Fucking with me, you must have lost your marbles, blown a gasket. I don't know when to stop. I'm a cactus inside your casket. Sad and frowning, I know that your mind is crowded with thoughts you can't comprehend. And inside it feels like you're drowning. All right, so that sounds like it's money now. Sounds like we're on time. And you would just zoom in and adjust that until you feel that you're on par with the beat, that you are on time. All right, so what do we do at this level? All right, so I'm going to go back to the selection tool. I'm going to double click this track, and I'll zoom back out so we can see everything. I'm going to Control D to duplicate this track. And what I'm doing this for is so that we can play with this vocal audio. And if we do something that kind of messes it up, we always have a backup track of the raw audio to say, man, that compression just really jacked up that whole track. And let's say you saved the project and went back into it, and you wouldn't be able to undo what you did. So this is just covering your bases. And if you do a killer take, go ahead and save it. Duplicate that track, mute the track, unhighlight it, and let's move it all the way to the top and get it out of our view. And we have it as a backup. That will cover your bass right there. Okay, so at this level, we would go through the typical processing chain. Now, this is all preference right here. Some people like breaths in their vocal tracks. It sounds natural. Some people don't like breaths. So if you wanted to edit your breath out, you could see the breath. You know what I mean? You would just highlight that. There's a breath right there. You would just highlight those and silence them. Now, I don't actually want to do that for me. I like a little bit of natural breath in there. This was a one take. I need to breathe. You know what I mean? So that's all you would do. That's just preference. Moving forward, at this point in time, we would process the vocals. You heard a few sibilants in here. Going the hardest like a nuclear war. Homie, my flow is firebomb. I cook you down to the core. People love me like Robin Williams, influential. So Tony Robbins. A sibilant is going to be a dense waveform. When you zoom in, most of these waveforms are transparent. You can see through them slightly. Now, these really dense ones, those are going to be the sibilants. And how you could address that is via Equalizer, but that's for a different tutorial. A simple way to just address those is highlight the sibilant. Yeah, that's a sharp S. And you would go to effect and you would de-amplify that. And I would recommend using -4 as the de-amplification. So we could address this later after we process the vocals, because at that level, it would really make them pop. And so that it would be more apparent as to which sibilants you would like to highlight and de-amplify. So that's how you would address that. Now let's zoom back out, and we're going to process the vocals. Now the typical vocal processing chain would be EQ, compression, normalization. So I'll double click the vocal track. I will go to filter curve, which is EQ. I would apply this EQ. Now, what I did on this EQ is there's quite a bit of solid bass in this track. And shout out to Gja Productions. That's who I got this beat from. Fire Beat. I found it free on YouTube. Gja, I believe it's JEEJUH Productions. They made some fire beats. So I had to bring it. I had to drop the heat on. But there's a good amount of bass in this track. So what I did here is I wanted to remove some of the bass of my voice so it doesn't get muffled within the bass of the actual track. So at about, 250, I just started rolling off slowly. And I rolled off slowly to a gradual fade at about 75 hertz. Now I took a little bit out of the mid-range here from roughly 300 to 500 by 3 decibels. That would just kind of take a little bit of those frequencies out to make it less muddy. And what I did here is I wanted to brighten some of the vocals of the meteor part, not the bassier part, but, a solid frequency range for a human voice. So I went ahead and I boosted from about 1200 hertz to about the 3300 range, and I boosted about 3 dB. And right here, this was to address some of the sibilants. So I went ahead and cut this, and at the back end here, at about 10 kilohertz, I boosted the decibel level by about 1.5 dB. So let's apply that and see how that works. Now, some people don't like compression on vocals. So what we are going to do at this level is we're going to go through the correct processing chain, and we'll compress these vocals. And if we don't like the way it sounds, we always have this backup right here that we haven't touched at all. So let's just try it. Let's see how it sounds. Let's compress that. And let's normalize it. All right, now let's go ahead and duplicate this track. It's already highlighted, Control D, and we'll go to this top track. We'll make it a stereo track that will ensure that the track is playing from both the left and the right speakers. So let's zoom back out. Let's have a look here and see how that sounds.
Go in the heart, it's like a nuclear war. Homie, my flow is firebomb, I cook you down to the core. People love me like Robin Williams, influential like Tony Robbins. More flavor than Baskin Robbins, the best of Batman and Robin. Who got meat? Pork, poultry, or beef? I'm thin slicing these suckers like boar's head on a beat. Make these lunch meat MCs quick, cold turkey, fake tough, toe furky wussies. Don't really want it with me. Your tactic is in plastic, so I grab it. Wrap it around your face, suffocate you and have at it. Fucking with me? You must have lost your marbles, blown a gasket. I don't know when to stop. I'm a cactus inside your casket.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I'm not gonna lie. So, alternatively, if let's say you didn't like the way yours sounded, you have this backup track right here, and you could just start playing with that. You could be like, well, it sounds great, but I feel like the compression messed it up or whatever. And you could hit it with an EQ and then try normalizing it, try amplifying it. And you could go that route and just kind of get creative with the way that you want your voice to sound, because sometimes, over processing vocals will make them sound unnatural. So anyway, you would just have to kind of play with that, and that's to your preference. So at this level,
People love me.
what I would want to do, we address the time lag. We're talking about processing the vocals. What I like to do is I like to check 3 different sound sources. So the first would be your headphones. The second would be like your computer speakers, like if you actually have speakers plugged in, or a Bluetooth speaker. And the last would be my personal favorite, which is the car. Bring it to the car. You know how a good track sounds in your car. So you can compare your track to other tracks that you know for a fact sound good. Now, after checking that out, let's say, like, oh, dang, well, it sounds really good, but, I feel like my vocals are just a little quiet. What you would do is you would come back into your Audacity project, you would double click your vocal track, go to effect, and you'd amplify your vocals by 1 dB. Go back to the car and see how that sounds and adjust at that level. So check your sound sources, adjust accordingly. Maybe your vocals are a little loud. It's like overbearing. You can barely hear the beat in the background. So you would want to de-amplify those vocals slowly until you find the ground where you're at. Now, I prefer when it comes to using the amplification tool for your vocals, instead of this time slider, instead of the dB slider right here on the left, I actually prefer the de-amplification or amplification because it gives you much more precision. You cannot do a half dB or 0.8 dB or 1.3 dB on this slider right here. But in the amplification tool, you can be precise by exactly how much you'd like to raise or decrease. So super precise. That's why I prefer that. Now, I was feeling myself on this track. So I was like, you know what? Let me get a sample. I'm going to add a sample to the end here and see how that sounds. So if you wanted to add a sample, this is what I did. I went and I knew what song had the sample in it. So I went to YouTube, I found that song, and so I took the link, I copied the link, and then I went to Google. I typed in YouTube to MP3. And YT MP3 always works the best for me. They don't give me any trouble. So I click on that. I will paste the link of that video in here, and then I'll click convert. And it's checking the video. See, it's already loaded it up. It recognizes it. It knows exactly what it is. Now, when you click download, it will start downloading right away, but it's going to also pop a window up. I've done this a ton of times. I've never had any issues, but just go ahead and close that window immediately. So let's download it. It'll start to download. That window opens. I closed it, and pow, you can see right here, it's already done downloading. Now, what I'll do is I'll go to my downloads, and I will click, drag, and drop that download into Audacity and open a new project. And just briefly, I want to save this project right now. So the project that we're working on. So I'll go to File, Save As, and I will type in VoiceOverMaster bars. Boom. Saved. Great. All right, so we click, dragged, and dropped that beat into Audacity. Now I know my sample is over here toward the end of the song. So what we're going to do is nice. And all right, so all right, I like this second sample better because it has less choppy snaps in it. So I'm going to zoom in here. All right, so this is the only area that I want right here. All right, great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this stereo track. And now it's in a mono track. So just highlight this little sample that you want. Control C to copy that. Now we'll go back to the other project and we'll create a new track. Control Shift N, create a new track. And we'll move this track down just so we have the track that we want to put the sample on. And let's play it out and see where you want to drop that sample at.
Watch me keep winning like Tom Brady, Mr.
So it's going to be, I want it right around here, and we'll use the time slider tool to put it in the right place. So we've already Control C to copy. Now let's Control V to paste it. Boom, there it is, right there. So let's zoom in a little bit, and let's see how it sounds, and we'll adjust the timing.
Like Tom Brady, Mr.
All right, so you heard that like be super loud. So before we put it in the right place, I want to double click this sample. I'm going to go to effect, I'll go to filter curve, and I'm going to EQ out some of those big bass and choppy snaps. And so let's flatten this at about 200 hertz. I'm going to drop it, start dropping it down. Steep drop. Boom. And at about 2000 hertz over here, I'm going to do the same thing, just a steep drop off, and try to cut out things that we don't need. So let's see how that sounds. Nice. Now we still have the vocal, but it's taken a lot of the instrument out, and that's exactly what we want. So let's try that. Let's scroll back over here, have a listen.
Sit back and watch me keep winning like Tom Brady, Mr.
All right, so I feel like that comes in a bit too quick, so I'm going to move it back at about here. Let's try that. Perfect. Boom. Just like that. That's how you add a sample, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to try de-amplifying that by like 1 dB. Let's see how that sounds. Fire. All right, so let's go ahead, and I'm going to move this track to the bottom because every time we duplicate a track to make it stereo, by default, it will drop it to the bottom. We'll go to the top track, make that a stereo track to make sure it's coming out of both sides of the speaker. Okay. All right, now I did hear a little bit of sibilance in that. I did hear a little bit of sibilance that I didn't love. So, just briefly, let's scroll out. Let's find some of that. That is not the right project. This is the right project. Okay. So what you would do, like I said earlier, is you would de-amplify those sharp S's. Boom.
Take a dip in this water.
I'm going to Control R to repeat.
Take a dip in this water.
Right here. Look at that. You see how dense these are? Control R.
In this water, I'll pull you down even farther, show you the...
All right, so we've taken care of the sibilance. We have taken care of that sibilance. And again, just make sure that our bases are covered. Save. Cool. And so we'll take this beat, we'll click, drag, and drop it over the Audacity icon. We'll load it back up, and we're going to look for some peaks. And look at that. That looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. So I don't think that we actually have any clips at all. Now, if you, easy way to tell if you have any clips in your track is go to Amplify, double click your track, go to Amplify. And if it gives you an option to amplify by any positive number amount, then you do not have any clips. If it says 0, if it gives you the option for 0, then you've got a clip. You know what I mean? So there's no clips in here. That's amazing. I want to limit this. Let's limit the track. We'll go to limiter. We'll do a hard limit, -1 dB. And let's just say that everything sounds great. The track is perfect, but it's just a little more quiet than the rest of the tracks that I hear in my car that are great sound quality. So what we would do at this point is we would go to Effect, scroll up to Amplify, and we would amplify that by a dB, and then limit that again to ensure that we don't have any clips. And voila, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we have. Let's go ahead and listen to the final product and see how it sounds. Clearly, I haven't been able to run out to the car, so bear with me, but I think it probably sounds pretty good. Let's check this out. All right, VoiceOverMaster, Hasty Jadem,
Sleepy Hollows, bars. Going the hardest like a nuclear war. Homie, my flow is firebomb, I cook you down to the core. People love me like Robin Williams, influential like Tony Robbins, more flavor than Baskin Robbins, or best of Batman and Robin. Who got meat? Pork, poultry, or beef? I'm thin slicing these suckers like boar's head on a beat. Make these lunch meat MCs quick, cold turkey, fake tough, toe, furky wussies. Don't really want it with me. Your tactic is in plastic, so I grab it. Wrap it around your face, suffocate you and have at it. Fucking with me? You must have lost your marbles, blown a gasket. I don't know when to stop. I'm a cactus inside your casket. Sad and frowning, I know that your mind is crowded with thoughts you can't comprehend, and inside it feels like you're drowning. Take a dip in this water, I'll pull you down even farther. Show you the darkness, have you believe in the Holy Father. The Holy Ghost Rider, have you kneeling beside the altar. I wrote your best bars, it's your honor to meet the author. Sean Penn on a bender, choking Madonna, making them disappear, poof magic like Harry Potter. Keep playing like Law and Order, quit playing like y'all can stop me. I'm Jordan up in the fourth quarter. I know you seeing that crazy shit in my eye. Window into a haunted house with no soul up inside. I'm so out of my mind, you think I'm from Saturn. Charismatic and charming with a killer's thought pattern. I'm staying steps ahead of the rest like a chess master. Forensic psychologist, fluent in reading blood spatter. Blow out the light so you can't name your attacker. Headshot to a toe tag, body and all these rappers try and hide from the fact that I'm better, it doesn't matter. I live inside your head, so go to bed with a dream catcher. Like your daddy in a model car. Keeping it clean is the hardest part. Don't turn my screws and hope I fall apart. Cause when I'm mad, I get bad like the morning star. Man, I come from the pain. I come from watching addicts pouring their whole life down the drain. That's why neglect, violence, abuse is locked in my brain. Have you ever seen the devil serve the spoon with a flame? Claiming you cool, that's some bullshit. I put you in the spotlight, watch you choke like a bong hit. I am finesse under stress, stay calm under duress. Now watch me become my best. The way I turn my life around, you think I'm crazy. 130 pounds, 310 to $180. I'm saying quit playing to all you jealous clowns that hate me. Just sit back and watch me keep winning like Tom Brady, mister.
Thanks, Jay-Z. Jay-Z said it, guys. I didn't say it. It was Jay-Z.
No, I'm not the best rapper alive at all, but I'm good though. Don't get that twisted. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We have the final product. I heard a couple small sibilants that I would go back in and address, but overall, we're sounding good. So, it has been my honor to bring to you how to record vocals for music and hip-hop in Audacity. I hope you found a lot of value in today's video, and I look forward to bringing you more valuable content. If you have a couple dollars to donate, fantastic. If you don't, no sweat. I still got your back. We're going to go this route for now and see how that works out. I'm running a contest. Most video shares in the first month and take screenshots so you can prove it and send it to me. We'll get a free 30-minute coaching session with yours truly, and we can go over whatever you like. Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure serving you, and I look forward to dropping more valuable content in the future. I'll speak to you soon.